Hi, my name is Nathan Blattman. I'm the Student Ministries Director here at Fellowship Bible Church. For my presentation, I wanted to take you guys on the journey that we took a couple weekends ago with our high school. We did our annual high school retreat in the spring, and this year it was awesome. I mean, there's nothing like going on a retreat just to get away from the busyness of life and just focus on what's important. So the theme for this year was Renew. We were challenging our students to take Romans 12:2 and put it into practice. The idea of don't be conformed to this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Our series broke down into four kind of segments. The first one was renewing your mind. What does that mean? And so we looked at like Paul and the transformation that kind of happened. Like there's something different about Paul after he has an encounter with Jesus. We looked at the apostles. There's something different about the apostles after they saw the resurrection. And so we're like, what is that difference? And as you look into it, you see that the Holy Spirit moves in, like it says in Titus 3:5. The Holy Spirit is regenerating and renewing us. And so that renewing is a process of the mind, and it's a process. And so we dove into what that means. Yours truly gave that session. I didn't give all the lessons, but that one I talked about just how do we, what does that even look like? There's something different, and it's renewing of our mind. And that renewal gives us hope. It gives us hope because this world, which was the second session, has so many different views of what is true. And the common thread through all the other views is that there's no hope. That despite all the different ways they try to make sense of the world, they don't have a hope like we do. When they die, either nothing happens, or it's dependent on their works, or just chance, or the will of an oppressive God that they can experience some sort of bliss. And we know that our hope says we don't have to do anything for it. And that makes us different. It allows us to have a truth that the world needs, which takes us from being defensive to being offensive. But unfortunately, this world is really good at conforming us, at taking us and molding us into its ideal set. And so we looked at how do you not be conformed? How do you resist a world that is telling you to believe what it believes? And so specifically, we looked at the largest way that the world does that in America, which is through science. And it tells us this lie that science is against faith. And we had a Christian scientist, come in and give the session where he said, that's just not true. That scientists are Christians and atheists alike. And both of them are looking at the same evidence, but the difference comes down to their fundamental beliefs that change how they interpret it. And so the whole process was just to say that how you interpret evidence is based off of the glasses you're wearing. And we use the Bible as our filter to interpret evidence, whereas atheists use the assumption that there is no God. Because there is no God, this evidence has to be explained a different way. So really both are a matter of faith. It's just a matter, and then it becomes a question of which faith is better. And so the purpose of that was to give us a backbone as we talk to atheists, as we talk to our friends who have this understanding that science is against faith. They're like, no, science isn't against faith. We love science. It's just a matter of how you interpret it. So that was Do Not Be Conformed. Awesome session. Really enjoyed it. The students got into it, and they were asking so many great questions that I really wanted to kick it off into a whole series. The final part that we looked at was to be transformed. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So this hope that we have shouldn't just stay with us. It shouldn't just stay in our minds. It shouldn't just stay in an intellectual place, but it needs to have its effect. When people looked at the apostles, they saw that something was different. Because renewing of your mind has renewing in your actions if you let it. So we looked at the rest of Romans 12, where it says, let your love be without hypocrisy. Where it says, don't return evil for evil. Don't let the sun do good, or as much as it depends on you, be at peace with all men. We looked at those and said, that's different. And you can only be that way if you let the Holy Spirit do its work. And you ask yourself, how does this hope transform the way I live? But there's more that we did. Speaking of transformed, we did a lot of stuff at the retreat. We threw tomahawks, a lot of fun. I always bring a shirt to demonstrate my tomahawk skills, although this is actually a collection of all the students just kind of throwing tomahawks on my shirt. It was too small, so we gave it some holes, gave it some wiggle room. I love that shirt. However, you may notice that there is duct tape on one of the tomahawks. It's because not all tomahawk throwers are equally skilled. In fact, this guy, one of our leaders, demonstrated how not to throw a tomahawk.
Failure point 2. That's it.
Look, it's 2 pieces right there. So he broke the tomahawk. He actually broke a second one. We didn't get the second one on film, but that's how you don't throw a tomahawk. Some other adventures that we went on, they have an awesome laser tag. The students loved it. It simulates like these guns that are really cool, and they got to play that. And we also did a giant swing. We lift them really high and then drop them when you don't know what. So a lot of fun. We had a great time on this retreat, and all in all, I really just love my youth group. These students mean the world to me. I didn't think I could love people this much, but I guess God works in us to love people. So just join me in praying for them, that God will renew them, that God will continue to renew their minds so that they can live with the hope that the rest of the world will have. It was an awesome retreat. I'm so thankful for what God did.